Uh,
what is the most difficult thing you have to overcome here in the US para sa'yo?
I had to parang akuin ko yung accent ko na, it's okay to have an accent and it's exotic. Good evening, everyone. We're the Fundivulia Brothers. I'm Marian.
I'm Matt.
Welcome to our second episode of our podcast.
Our topic for today is expectation before going to US versus reality. Magandang usapan to.
So, Kuya Matt, before moving here in the US, what was your expectation? And then, na tama bang yung mga expectations about US?
Well, growing up kasi sa Philippines, ang alam lang naman natin sa US is like sa mga Hollywood, like for watching movies, 'di ba? Mga New York, mga Chicago. So ang expectation ko is like tall buildings, traffic, like crowded people. Pero pagdating ko dito is hindi ko alam na ang US pala is may mga lugar din na parang province. Vibes siya. Like yung calm lang siya, like slow. Well, specifically lalo na dito sa North Carolina, sabi nga nila is this is a laid-back state.
Before. Now it's growing.
This is like 10 years ago, right? Like,
10 years ago, yeah.
2013, we arrived here 2013.
2013.
Is it September?
September 2013.
Yeah, September 2013. So, expectation ko talaga is yung sa mga Spider-Man, mga ganung movie.
So, ang expectation is parang, it's just gonna be a city.
Yeah.
Diba?
Then pagdating dito, like, everywhere trees. Like, talagang puro puno. Pero, okay naman. Like, hindi siya ganun kasing traffic ng Manila or mga cities sa atin.
Yeah. I mean, for my expectation naman, kasi ang lahat ng sinasabi natin nila, once you're in the US, you're gonna be rich. Diba? So, bakit nung dumating ako dito, nawalan ako ng allowance? I had no allowance. So, I mean, may mga free meals sa school. So, which is, yun din ang maganda kasi ang mga public schools dito are free. Hindi siya katulad sa Philippines na public school pero parang, alam mo yun, pilit. Hindi katulad dito sa US na well taken care of ang mga students. Well, at least sa school ko. I don't know about other places. I don't want to speak for every school. And then,
like, how can you compare ba yung school doon sa paano mo nasabi na well taken care yung
kasi I mean school is free, may air condition, may and then it's easier because we didn't have to take 10 to 11 classes per day. It was only 4. So they separated it in 2 semesters. So basically on the first semester it's just 4 classes and then just the first half of the school and then the next semester. So it's shorter time for less classes so we could focus more.
Is that how you expect ba na magiging ganun ng high school mo? Or like,
no, it was a culture shock. Kasi sobrang culture shock. For 6 months, it was hard to make friends. I think before ako nagka-friends, it was 6 months and then after high school pa talaga ako nag-bloom na I'm like, you know what, I don't care about what other people think, I'll just be who I am. Then that's how I made more friends during college.
So that's the reality, like attending school here in the US versus nung in-expect mo. Kasi sa atin, iba talaga ang high school eh.
Iba.
Especially tayo hindi naman tayo sa public school ng like we're in a private school which is less yung less yung class nyo.
And I think yung high school dito is they're preparing students to be prepared for colleges because the way you take your classes, you have the options to what classes you have to take this semester and next semester, and you have to move to different classes instead of before sa high school namin dati, yung mga teachers ang had to go to our class, so we didn't move on our place. We had our own seats. But here, every an hour and a half, we have to change classes.
So parang college talaga siya.
Parang
Kasi
college
ganun
siya.
ang sa Philippines eh.
Mhm.
Like, kapag pumasok ka sa college, ikaw ang lilipat ng classroom depending on your subject.
Yes.
Ganun ang nangyari sa'yo. So talagang culture shock sa'yo. Like,
Mhm.
kasi sa atin, hindi naman ganun yung setup eh.
Yeah.
Which is a good, I think magandang exposure siya para yung mga bata is ma-prepare talaga for college. Totoo. What is the most difficult thing you have to overcome here in the US para sa'yo?
I think the most difficult thing was not having a lot of resources, especially. I think because it's also of the language barrier. Even though I can speak English fairly, I mean, there's the accent. They would know who was born here, who wasn't born here. I think that took part with my anong tawag dyan? Confidence. So that's why mahirap rin make friends when I was high school kasi because of the accent as well. It took me a while to overcome na I had to parang akuin ko yung accent ko na it's okay to have an accent and it's exotic.
Alam mo, parang actually same tayo ng like yung hardest to overcome here in the US. Kasi pag sa atin, lalo sa Philippines I don't know, parang sa Filipino kasi they make it a big deal na dapat tama yung pronunciation, tama yung grammar, yung like dapat perfect dapat yung English mo.
And then when you get here, hindi naman iba-iba per state. Iba-iba, may southern accent, may northern accent. Iba-iba. So just respect all accents.
Yeah. Yun din yung pinaka-hardest na kailangan kong overcome. Remember nung pagdating natin dito sa US, buti ikaw like nag-attend ka agad ng high school, pero kami like nasa bahay lang pala kami.
1 year kayong stuck.
Yeah, 1 year kaming stuck.
Nanonood lang sila ng Netflix.
Netflix and chill lang. Buti nga may Netflix na noon eh. Pero 1 year kaming stuck. Hindi rin tayo makagalaw noon kasi 1 car lang tayo.
One car lang.
We only have 1 car. Yun din, parang hardest din yun. Kasi transportation talaga dito sa US. Walang jeepney, walang tricycle.
I mean, dito sa North Carolina, kasi sa iba, let's say
may train system.
Sa New York there's subway, you don't need a car, pero dito sa North Carolina it's heavily reliant on cars.
Yeah.
And naalala ko pa nung ang 1 car natin is only 5-seater. Si Ate Mika had to go to the trunk, which was illegal.
Naka-experience din ako kasi funny stories. Kailangan syempre sumisimba every Sunday. And yung church naman is hindi ganun kalayo. Like maybe less than 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Pero minsan tinatamad ng balikan. So sasakay na lang kami doon sa likod. Which is,
hindi pala.
Bawal pala yun dito.
And for the authorities, we're just joking.
That was 10 years ago. Pero yun, talagang inaan lang safety dito. And then, ang isa ko pang gustong sabihin, like going back to the communication thing, is yun din, like 1 year kaming nakastuck lang sa lumalabas lang pag mag-grocery or kapag bibisita sa friend's house, is yun nga, it's hard to make friends, it's hard to meet new people.
You can't make friends. Yeah.
Totoo, like you can't make friends kasi hindi mo rin, mahirap kilalanin ang mga tao. So one of the hardest thing, especially kapag hindi ka rin confident sa pagsalita mo, like parang lagi kang nahihiya. Pero ngayon, like growing up, dapat pala ang mas pahalagan mo is just how you deliver the message.
Yes.
Yun ang mas importante. Basta na-gets nila yung gusto mong sabihin, just go for it. Huwag ka masyadong perfectionist na, ay, dapat mali pala yung grammar ko. Ay, dapat is pala kaysa was. Mga ganon. Or like, him or her. Basta, sila rin naman kasi nagkakamali. Like, minsan ina-address nila yung babae, him. Yung lalaki, her. So, minsan nasa utak lang natin, pag bagong salta ka na, dapat perfect. Dapat,
Pero, at the end of the day, naintindihan ka pa rin nila. So,
yun ang pinaka-important.
I think overthinking was...
So, last thing that we wanna share is tips for those who wants to come here, and what do you need to prepare and what you need to expect. So I'm gonna give one tip is learn how to drive. If you learn how to drive in the Philippines, you can drive anywhere. Totoo yun. Kasi dito sa US, mas disiplinado sila talaga when it comes to
following the
rules. Hindi naman, I cannot speak for everyone, pero majority of them is they know the traffic rules, they know
no cutting
lanes, even like mga motorcycles, they kahit kaya na lang sumingit sa gilid, hindi sila sisingit, mga ganong stuff. So if you can drive, if you want to come here in the US, learn how to drive because it's gonna be one of your most used skill. Saka kapag dito ka pa nag-aral nun, is mahal. Like yung iba, buti kayo sa school nyo, medyo may program. Pero kung like medyo hindi na kayo high school or like mag-work na kayo dito, learn how to drive kasi talagang magagamit mo yung skill na yun.
Okay. And for me, one tip that I will give is once na you guys are settled in dito, you guys are gonna have access to multiple credit cards, mga credits. Itong mga first mistake kung bakit sometimes people get stuck in debt. Kasi, my credit limit is this much. Like, let's say 10,000. Doesn't mean you have to spend $10,000. Kasi you always have to look na, kasi that will incur interest if you don't pay that in time. I would suggest na you just spend. It doesn't mean that you have more access to money. You have to change your lifestyle. I know we need to be comfortable, pero at the same time na excess can ruin your future.
Yeah, totoo yan. Actually, magandang tip talaga yan. Kasi pagdating talaga dito sa US, isa pa yan, make sure you build up your credit score kasi credit score speaks for almost everything here. Like if you want to do business, if you want to like apply for a loan, to have a car, to have a house, kailangan maganda yung credit score mo. And to build up credit score, especially kung sa agency ka, katulad nung kay mama na case, is like nurse siya, and then through her agency, like kinater nila na magkaroon siya ng car. And then through that car is na-build yung credit score niya so that she can apply for a credit card. And remember yung credit card natin, $300 na yung limit.
My first, mine was $250.
And yes, kapag kinonvert mo sa Philippines, like that's what, 10,000-15,000. Pero dito, pagdating nandito, like yung $300 na yun, baka kulang pa sa grocery for one family. So, as soon as you get here, kung may plan kayo, build up your credit score, take care of your credit score.
Unless marami kayong pera.
Yeah.
You don't need credit score, you just buy everything cash.
Any more tips?
I mean, there's a lot.
Pero I think it's gonna be...
we can discuss that on another episode because I think we're over time.
Pero if you have any question, just reach out, message nyo yung page namin. We will do our best to respond.
And one more thing before we end the call. Oh, not the call, the podcast. We have an opportunity for people who has some editing skills on videos, because we don't have time to edit ourselves because we're very busy. If you guys are interested, just message us. If you guys are from our town, that's more preferable because we want to give back to our community.
Ang ina namin is if you're high school or like if you're college, if you want some side hustle, I know maraming way dyan mag side hustle, pero kung wala rin kayong portfolio, baka nahirapan rin kayong maghanap or like maghanap ng work. Message us and then we can discuss. Like Maureen said, we want to give back to our community. I think it's a good opportunity, and we will see your work.
All right.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, well, we'll see if we can team up, be part of our group.
All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys again next week.
Thank you.